are back with Rori Montford Tales. Hey, Rori, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. It's getting a little.
Oh no, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I do want to remind everybody in chat that we are giving away a copy of Cassie Mothwin's Clean Spirit, and if you would like to enter, please type !giveaway in chat to be considered. We will be giving it away after the final interview. So get in there and
It's.
type that word. So,
I
Rori,
have it. It's good.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Have you played it yet?
So I was going to play with my D&D group to pause for a bit, and now we haven't started up again. So when we start up again, get into everything.
Clean Spirit.
So,
oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Speaking of games that I'm really excited to try, Rori, why don't you give folks an introduction to, well, I guess you and also the game that you are crowdfunding currently.
Well, let me see. I am an illustrator these days. I write, and I decided that I was going to try to get some more ideas out of my head for actually writing some games instead of just adventures or just drawing, to connect the dots a little bit between all the thoughts that go in my head. And so back in September, the thought went big in my head that just said, then I got a little bit of scope creep and so a game for 1 to 2 players. You play as vampire, writing letters to each other via a secret society. And the problem with scope creep is I wanted to do more and more things and do more and more types. Got to the point where I thought, I can't do all these types of stories, so why don't I make types of stories that they want to tell instead of me trying to second guess everything. Society, but everything else about it is kind of down to the players who want, or the genres that they want, and I just added in some extra complications.
Yeah. I really, really love what you've done with Dead Letter Society, and I also very thankful to hear someone bring up the deadly issue of scope creep. I do want to say I am getting some feedback in the chat and from my producer that we're experiencing a little bit of a lag, and
I'm definitely noticing that.
You're getting that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to blame it on the Los Angeles rain, because nothing ever works in LA when it's raining, and it's raining in LA, everyone, just so you know. So the world is ending, the sky is falling. We've never so apologies to anyone who may be experiencing a little bit of lag. It's not you, it's us. And we are going to get through it. We're gonna do our best.
We'll just
but Rori, let's power through it. Let's do it. Rori, I'm gonna bring up your campaign so we can good look at it. Here we go.
That is it.
Oh, yes, and it is 68% funded. Almost. Congratulations.
Yep. Oh, that's nice. Just need to someone to do one little bit more and just get that 169. Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody just wants to,
been really
real quick.
Great. Yeah. Just
yeah. I also want to. I know you mentioned that you're an illustrator when you gave your introduction.
Yes.
I want to bring up to folks in chat that Rori illustrations for this game and the design for this game. And they're gorgeous. Look at this stuff. Yeah. Oh, every drop that you have posted on Twitter has just been so fun to watch.
This has been because it's so many illustrations in a very similar style. I can see the improvement happening here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, no, no, you've done an excellent I also
Thank you.
I want to bring this up. The table of contents, which I have not. This is new Crowdfundr tech for those of you who are watching and to figure out, how to optimize your Crowdfundr run. This is new tech right here. This is my speedrunner speak, but like the table of contents is such an awesome thing to do. How did you do that?
I used HTML anchors, and it's really that simple.
The anchors,
also,
yeah,
I
you
know
can
that
see
I
them
tend
here.
So I tend to over explain. So by the time I got to the end of what the things I wanted to say were, like,
yeah, no. That's just excellent.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I've never seen anybody do that on Crowdfundr before. So, sorry, we're here to talk about vampires and writing letters, and not about your fun HTML tricks. So, I want to know, what is your favorite part of Dead Letter Society?
Oh, so I wrote this game at a time when our Vampire the Masquerade game on hiatus because our 3-year-old was not sleeping. I wasn't getting to play the vampire, and my vampire is a storyteller for that game as well. So I wanted something to be able to play with him, which is why it's a 2-player game, more on the 2-player angle. And he hasn't played games before because they can be quite intense when you're just sitting there with one other person and everything's kind of... I made this to be a little bit more chill in that respect, which is why it's a bit relaxed, and you're not directly asking each other questions. You're writing things and think about it and respond, and stuff can happen like that. And one of my favorite things about it, we were playtesting it together, and I just looked up and I focused and frantically typing something away, and I didn't get to find out what it was until the letter. It was just heartbreaking, like, romance that was going on, and I was just like, oh my goodness.
I love that.
Yeah. So this game works.
It works. The system works.
The
one thing
system
that
works,
you mentioned, was that you were inspired to write this when your usual game, your regular game, was taking a break. And I think it is so funny when I ask folks, like, what motivated them to write the game, because once I do, and once I get that answer, it becomes so obvious, because all of your like points, which by the way are great selling points, you're never left waiting. There's always something to do while you're waiting for someone to respond. Make game night fit around you. Like it's so clear now. Like, of course you would write, an epistolary game that is, all about asynchronous play and this sort of feeling of these vampires. Just like it makes total sense, and it's so funny. Well done. Also, I love. There's no question in there. I'm just sorry, everyone. Crowdfundr is no longer an interview show. It is me geeking out to something about how cool they are. But
it's fit around a 3-year-old. So there you go.
There it is. Yeah, look, if you have a 3-year-old, then here's a game that you can play. You can fit it around your schedule, your 3-year-old schedule. I guess I do want to ask, because this is a different type of game. I think maybe that's the theme of this episode, right? Like, Logan had lyric games, and this is an epistolary game. And so I was wondering if maybe you could talk a little bit about the inspiration for, I mean, aside from needing something asynchronous, like where did you get the idea to make a letter writing game?
So that was prompt of vampire pen pals. This just sort of popped in there. To my partner about it a little bit, and he kind of thought, oh, there's an NPC in our vampire desperate letters to this other vampire. But I can't say anything more than that because, yes. Basically, so it's like GM secrets.
Of course.
So then I was like, okay, if you could see like on this, then let's. And then I added in the stuff to do while you're waiting for those responses, because I mean, I like to keep playing. So I like to send waiting for weeks saying, did they get it? Did they receive it? Are they writing anything? And then I figured a letter, as the vampire that I am, obviously, yeah. But then other things wouldn't stop happening to you while you're waiting for those responses. So that's things to do while you're waiting for a reply. So that's kind of then trying to, you're just wasting time. That didn't work for me as a player. So that's why it's that way.
That's so fun. Yeah, I have one of the things that I really have gotten into as a person who did a cross-country move in the middle of a pandemic is letter writing. I have many pen pals. So you bet you know what, that I'm going to try to convince some of them to be vampires with me. Absolutely. Yes. One question that I do want to ask is how's the crowdfunding process been for you? This is your first time crowdfunding?
This is my first time. It is my first game. It is so far so good. A little I mean, this is the easy bit, right? After this comes the logistical nightmare, and where everything, when you see wrong, they might fun, but then things go downhill after that. So it's that ooh, but it's gonna be okay because I've got fulfillment partners and massive things, so it's under control. But that's the bit that most, because the actual funding bit, I think, well, if it funds, great, then I don't need to worry about the rest of the fulfillment bit, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So that was, that's okay. But we did fund, so that's the process of working on it through Crowdfundr seemed fairly straightforward. So I never felt, ooh, this is going to be tricky to set up, or what do I do? I didn't feel like there haven't been any roadblocks up to this point in time. If that's
what I like to hear. Fantastic answer. A+. Well done.
This is the problem.
Well, okay, everybody in chat, please knock on wood, or like type knock on wood in chat or something, because Rory has invoked the malevolent spirits of So Far So Good, which, as we know, thank you Crowdfundr for knocking on wood.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, Rory, stop making it worse. Excellent.
Say it again.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's also from here, yes.
Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think of, oh, you know what? I asked, I think I asked Jess this question last week, so I'd like to ask it of you as well.
Okay.
Because, Jess, as you know, both of you have a brand to maintain about writing about vampires, and
about vampires.
I need to know who your favorite vampire is.
So it's it has to could name someone from a current vampire game, and no one would know who I was talking about, and that would be.
That's well. Tell us who that vampire is. Who are they?
I mean, no, it'll go straight to their heads. They can't know.
Oh, they can't know. Okay, so it's a secret, everyone.
Yeah. So I think my first vampires were reading Interview with the Vampire and Anne Rice. So the classic of Lestat and Louis. I mean, they are just, they are what set me. And yeah, it's always who I will with vampires too. It's like, how are they on the Louis Lestat scale?
I love that. That's delicious.
That's 17-year-old
my favorite vampire. That's yeah. I actually think that vampire is Naja Vantapaxos from What We Do in the Shadows. She's
she's so
she's
cool.
a great vampire.
Yeah. That shows so much.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah. Well, that's another thing that I think I would love to ask, right? Is like the tone of Dead Letter Society reads to me as like very, very esoteric and serious and shady. But is there a potential to change the tone for players who might be more interested in?
Yes. So as part of stretch goals that we have met, I'm writing some extra play sets for it. So you can make to suit the themes that you want to look at, but the play sets that we have in there are so you can just get some touchstones for the stories that you want to tell and just jump right in. So I'm adding one of them is cozy vampires. So
love that.
So this is and I've started writing already, and during the game when you make your vampire traits for them to describe them, you describe them as being positives or negatives, and these traits. The cozy vampires, one of my favorite ones I picked out is invitations. You're invited to lots of ways goes wrong.
Ooh, that's so cool.
So you know, it's not designed to be strictly horror bloody. It's I hope that I made it so that you can tell some of the lighter story, more of the tragedies as well.
Excellent.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, chat, make sure you head over to the Dead Letter Society Crowdfundr page. We've got we've got some excellent stretch goals that have been met, and there's a couple more, right? Are we looking at?
2 more. There's one that we're like £30 with, have pre-gen characters for everyone, and I write lots of introductory letters for them, which and even more like tone and theme for each of the different settings that I've. And then a ways off after that is writing something that's a bit more specific and fine-tuned for one of story input from me rather than just from players as well.
Spectacular. Well, chat, let's go and make it happen. Rory, thank you so much for being on stream with me today, and chat, stick around, and we will be back with another excellent guest. See you soon.